Okay, here's a disclaimer for you. I'm not a doctor. Anything that I tell you is only based on my personal experience. These are my stories. They don't have anything to do with you. You have your own life journey, right? Things like castor oil, oh my gosh, the healing properties of that are beyond your imagination. So this story is recent. I went to hot springs, and at the hot springs I got bit by something on the foot. In fact, it nibbled me in a couple of places, and I thought, what's going on here? All of a sudden just started scratching under the water, and I thought, what is this? And then I said, well, don't scratch, and got out and cleaned up and came home. And when I came home, it bothered me that night. I looked, and it did just look like like you probably got a little spider bite or something. So you always want to pay attention to those, which I did. But overnight, it turned into in fact, it woke me up at midnight with screaming pain. And when I looked at it, I said, what is going on here? Well, I had an open wound now. And so, the first thing I did was start employing colloidal silver. And then within a couple days, I said, no, you're missing something here. So this is that inner guidance is saying, because it wasn't healing, it was very, very painful. And so then I asked, it was like, well, clean it first, hydrogen peroxide. So I got in the tub, and that's where I used hydrogen peroxide to start cleaning out the wound. Now remember, this is now an open sore, and it is on the top of my foot. And I've done lots of healing work. I'm a healer. And so, I wasn't afraid of this, but I was sure curious about why that manifested. Now I get curiouser down the road a little bit. So, about a week goes by, and with hydrogen, cleaning the wound regularly with hydrogen peroxide and then applying colloidal silver, and really every 3 hours. I was up 24 hours a day for 3 or 4 days, and it had arrested it, and it was beginning to heal. And after about a week, I was saying, this is not healing. It has stopped it. So then I said, well, what am I missing here? So right now I'm dealing with the physical. Now I have to go back to what was going on here. What was I thinking? Now I turned to inner guidance here for this, because you have to find out what the thought was that created this. And for me, all of a sudden, as I was in a quiet, contemplative, meditative type of space, my little child that had been so badly abused came out from behind the tree, and she was just sobbing. She was so mad. She was so mad that there was rage. There was fury. She felt betrayed. She did not. All of a sudden, the stuff that I had stuffed down in my childhood, because there was nobody to protect me. There was nobody came and hugged me or loved on me because of whatever was going on. This isn't a judgment or criticism. It's the way it was. And because of that, it just got stuffed and stuffed and stuffed. And that went on for a number of years. So here she is, angry. Now let's talk a little bit. So I've got that, and I'm understanding it. Of course, immediately, scoop her up in my arms and apologize and let her know that I wish I had known better, and I didn't until I was an adult, and that I'm appreciative that she is now letting me know of all these feelings that are just now coming out. I'm in my 70s. We're talking about ages 18 months to 11 years old, and we're talking broken bones and all kinds of other things you don't want to know about. So anyhow, I'm I'm in that apologetic, help, let's just love on this and see if we can't. And it took me 3 or 4 days to get her to, she right away calmed, but she was so angry. It did take a little bit more time for her to accept that the truth was that I love her. Okay, so now I'm just going to stop there for a minute. The spiritual principles involved here are, we are pure love, pure loving energy. The minute I started loving on the hurt, on the boo-boo, on that sore, that open wound, begin to heal. And it healed from the inside. And it took another 3 days before it closed up. Okay, so the spiritual principle is we are love. We are compassion, we are kindness, we are caring. And as soon as we begin to employ that frequency, that energy of love and loving on that, what do the feet do for you? What do your legs do for you? What do your hands and fingers? The feet carry you on your walk, your legs and, your feet are your mobility. If you don't have a foot, that moves, then you've got a situation that's not in balance, not in harmony with who you are. And my legs have been beaten up on. And so, if you don't have a leg, you don't have a leg to stand on, right? Now, I'm not making fun of things. I'm telling you that the moment you begin to connect from the inside out, what is going on, that this was eating away at me, and I wasn't aware of it. She brought me that awareness, that child that needed nurturing and love. And I'm capable of doing that. It's always nice to get a hug from somebody else, right? But my parents just were clueless. So anyhow, it is healing, and I want you to understand the metaphysics of it. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not suggesting you do this. I'm suggesting you get familiar with what these spiritual principles are that you can employ in your life. Now, this was an example of a physical, right? Because remember, physical is always the result. When you have spirit that you rely on, then mind is the builder, physical is the result. And in backtracking, we brought balance and harmony and peace back to the body. And I want you to know I love you. I hope to see you at the next video. Please like and subscribe. Those are the things that are helping this community to grow. See you next time.